Do you think he's actually Mike Tomlin?
That's a good question.
I don't think he's Mike Tomlin. Coaching advantage goes to the Steelers, not to the Colts. And I was looking at the young weapons. Kenny Pickett, is he not a better quarterback than Matt Ryan? Absolutely. At this stage, Matt Ryan on the tail end is basically just trying to hold on. Horrible against the blitz. In fact, he's the 30th ranked quarterback in the National Football League against the blitz. Guess who blitzes the 5th most in the National Football League?
Who's that?
That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you have a quarterback who's not very good at the blitz. You have a defense that's very good at the blitz. You have a coaching advantage that was Mike Tomlin over Jeff Monday. And already told you about the quarterback situation, but defensively, as good as the Colts are, when you got T.J. Watt over there, that defense, again, the way that they're going to put pressure, I just was thinking to myself, Jonathan Taylor's not going to be able to do much on the ground against the Steelers team. I was like, I'm going to take Kenny Smallhands Pickett. He's going to get it to his receivers. He's going to get it out to his backs and Najee. The team is coming a lot farther, and you're going to give me points with Mike Tomlin. Did you know Mike Tomlin is a underdog, is 42-28?
I always bet the Steelers when they're underdogs.
Take Mike Tomlin as a dog and take them points and go ahead and cash your checks. Now, I did not call Jay and tell him this. Do you know why?
Why?
Because Jay gets very upset if you call and change a bet and then it loses. So I wanted to put my knowledge on him and say, you know what, Jay? There's not a coaching advantage by any means when it comes to Jeff Monday.
No, not
and it's not like we said that, but we're like, oh, Jeff Monday's got this team going. Man, please, Mike Tomlin, he's going to have his team ready to play. And Kenny Smallhands Pickett, looking pretty good. Now, the third quarter, the offense was atrocious. All they did was go 3 and out, 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 3 and out. It was awful. Fourth quarter came there, got his drive that he needed, and they opened up a can on him very early in the ball game. The one thing that did freak me out, though, you get that turnover in the first quarter, and you get sack back to back to where you can't even get a field goal. Now that did give me a little bit of pause, a little cause for concern. But Kenny Pickett and the Fighting Pittsburgh Steelers dropped the Colts 24-17, and we wouldn't call it a thriller, would we?
No, that wasn't a thriller. That was more of a
old-fashioned,
I don't know,
old-school football.
Old school football, that's right.
But the over did get there barely.
Barely.
Oh my goodness! So all those people at 39.5. I know they weren't too excited. In fact, when you think about it, you take 2 points off, that 2-point conversion, it gave the people over, and it also cost the people they're under.
Yeah.
That was a big 2-point conversion. But again, Kenny Pickett, small hands, did his business.
I'll tell you something. I had a parlay last night,
Uh-oh.
which nobody really cares about my parlay, but I'll tell you this. Everything hit except for Matt Ryan 200-plus yards, and he had that one pass late in the game where they barely got a first down with still like a minute 15 left. I was like, he's going to get there. He's going to get there. And then he didn't complete a single pass the rest of the game. Ridiculous.
Man, that is ridiculous. By the way,
199.
I had Michael Pittman Jr. scoring a anytime touchdown as well.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why? I had the do factor.
Okay.
Going into last night, he had 70 receptions and 1 touchdown on the season.
He's due.
He was due, and guess what? He got a touchdown. And also the Steelers secondary, it's not like the greatest part of their defense by any means.
Yeah.
So I figured he could get behind the secondary. He did. The man out of USC took care of business. Now, we're going to talk a whole lot of NFL today because we have Gabe Kuhn today at noon. It's a little noontime with Gabe Kuhn. He's going to talk to us about, some of the best teams in the National Football League, some of the bad teams in the National Football League, what's going to happen with OBJ. Sounds like
he's going to be a Cowboy.
Sounds like, if you listen to Jerry Jones, he wants him bad. By the way, Jerry Jones is like, I'm unfazed by the situation on the airplane. Of course you're unfazed.
You just want to sell tickets and win games.
Sell tickets, win games. It does not matter. And by the way, I'm not really worried about OBJ being a little bit hammered in a Miami airport on the airplane before they take off. Things happen.
Live your life.
And it also depends on who your airline flight attendant is, what we call them, or is it stewardesses?
I think either goes. I usually say flight attendant.
Well, the flight attendant also, because
I've also never been on a plane.
Mike
so I don't know
Tyson,
why
remember,
I'm
did beat the tar out of
Yes.
dude on the airplane.
Yes.
Okay, and people were like, "Oh, that's cool. It's Mike Tyson. The guy deserved it." Things of that nature. OBJ wasn't bothering anybody. He just wouldn't put his seatbelt on because he was incoherent. He couldn't talk about it. We're also going to talk about Mike White. Is that amazing what he
What
did?
a game.
Like, did you know who had the best QBR last week? Mike White.
White.
Mike White played quarterback as good as anybody, period. He was amazing, flat out awesome during that game. And if you're Zach Wilson, I feel like Zach Wilson kind of proved that he's not a leader. I was listening to Rex Ryan on the Sunday Football Countdown, NFL Sunday Football Countdown.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how, I didn't even realize this. Do you know that he was never a team captain?
Really?
Never a team captain. He's a number 2 overall pick. Obviously immensely talented. Played the quarterback position. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of captains come from that, that general area in a football team, and he was not. Now, after the ball game when the Jets, I learned about something. Did you know Anakin? Is that his name? Anakin? It's a Star Wars reference.
I've never seen Star Wars.
You've never seen Star Wars either?
Mm-mm.
See, Jay brings up these analogies and he's not here. I think Anakin is Darth Vader. And Vader is Anakin, kind of like Finkel is Einhorn and Einhorn is Finkel.
Okay.
You've seen?
And Luke, I'm your father.
Yes, kind of something into that aspect.
Something.
But my man was sitting on the sidelines, had his hoodie, did not look very excited that Mike White was playing great. You saw his teammates get really excited when the ball game was over. And when the media made it to the locker room, you know who was already gone and had left the building? That would be Zach Wilson.
Wow. I actually didn't know that.
Yes, he left before anybody could talk to him, see him, say anything. Now, was he dressed up to play? No. Backup was Joe Flacco. He had fallen on hard times. But then there's some weird things coming out of New York saying that they haven't given up on Zach Wilson yet. Robert Salah, do me a favor. Give up on Zach Wilson.
Give up on him.
I know it's one game for Mike White, but it was one heck of a game. And even he said these words exactly. He said, you know what? The plays that he's supposed to make, he made them look easy. And he did. And there's nothing easy about the quarterback position in the National Football League. 300-pound men running 4.5 40s, 4.6 40s, trying to, knock you down. DBs back there, faster than Cooter Brown. They're mixing in defenses, zone coverage. It is a difficult position. But he did make it look easy. He made great throws. He looked like the leader of the team. And you know what? The team rallied around him. And I will have to say, you know who might like him the best?
Who?
Garrett Wilson. Remember, Garrett Wilson basically was just a few weeks ago when they asked about, how come you're not getting the ball and blah, blah, blah about Zach Wilson. He's like, I don't know. I don't know why they throw me. I don't know. I'm talking to the guy. The guy never says anything to me. I was like, whoa, that was also very revealing about how he deals with his wide receiver room. But Garrett Wilson had a big game, and it seems like the New York Jets. If you look now, watch out, because if this team actually has a quarterback, that whole AFC East is absolutely loaded. I mean, the Patriots are still in the hunt. They're playing better football. The Jets are now 7-4, playing better football under Mike White. The Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins are the creme de la creme. They're the cream of the crop, especially in that division, and possibly in the AFC. The Baltimore Ravens, they keep blowing 4 games. Double-digit leads in the fourth quarter, 4 losses. What did they say? One time, oops, twice.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going. I know that one. No, it's more like you do it one time, you're like, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You do it twice, and you're like, man, we got to make sure we nip this in the bud.
Right.
You do it 3 times, that's starting to set up a pattern. You do it 4 times, and you're like, dead gummit, we are failing on defense in the fourth quarter, and also, we're not getting, completing passes, running the football. Edwards fumbling the football right there. That was just, it's bad play, and it's not just the secondary. It's not just Lamar Jackson. It's not the running game. It's for some reason this team finds a way to choke it away.
Can't win games.
4 times. 4 times. Now, the Bengals, Joe Cool, holy cow. If you had to say outside of Patrick Mahomes, the number 2 quarterback in the National Football League is Joe Burrow.
I mean, Josh Allen,
I would rather have Joe Burrow than Josh Allen.
Just what? Because age? I mean,
one, Joe Burrow doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't need Jamar Chase. He can get the ball whoever's out there. Joe Burrow just wins football game. Listen, Josh Allen, is he a great talent? Yes.
Fantastic.
Does he play the quarterback position like Joe Burrow? No. He really does not.
No.
He does it more under power. He does it with zipping the football.
Yeah.
He gets the ball to Diggs. He does a lot of things. But when it comes to playing the quarterback position, getting the ball out of your hands quickly, reading defenses, dissecting what's going on, my dude is like
It's Joe Burrow.
a savant. He's like the Elon Musk, the
word.
Albert Einstein. He's like, he just sees things different. He sees the field different. You saw it in his 1 year when he was down at LSU at Baton Rouge. My man is just playing the position, and think about how young he is. What has Justin Herbert done with his opportunity? It's not like he went to a much better situation than Joe Burrow when he went to the Bengals.
No, not at all.
So I'm telling you right now, if you just realistically, Joe Shiesty, if I had to pick any quarterback not named Pat Mahomes, I think the first quarterback that I'm taking is Joe Burrow. He's young. He's talented. He gets the ball out to his playmakers. My man's already thrown for 3,160 yards, completing 68% of his passes. Touchdowns are out the frame, 23 of them. Dude.
Wow.
Watch out. And by the way, where's Jamar Chase? Oh, he's sitting on the sideline. He'll be back next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just telling you right now, Joe Burrow is the real deal, Holyfield. Now, over in college football, I guess you heard, Hugh Freeze.
Whew.
Auburn, it's official.
That booster group at Auburn, they can't be happy with anything, can they?
They can't. They just can't make up their mind.
No.
You've heard now, oh, he's the best fit. I saw a couple, boosters come out and say, oh, I don't know what those people on Twitter were talking about. Please. Y'all weren't happy with it, but Auburn now hires Hugh Freeze, Lane Kiffin's staying, of course, at Ole Miss. And again, I have to say to Lane, congratulations. And Auburn, thank you for helping him out because, my goodness, you turned an absolute debacle. You fall apart at the end. You make the stupidest. You go in there and score a touchdown, you need a 2-point conversion. You had 3 timeouts. If you do not get the 2-point conversion, you have 3 timeouts to kick the ball off, stop them on 3 plays, get the ball back, and then have an opportunity to field goal to actually still win the football game. But he uses 2 timeouts.
I hate back-to-back
to call shovel passes. To end up calling a stupid shovel pass that was not executed extremely well. And let's be real, Pegues, the touchdown, that was great. But then you bring him back in and you don't run it and you try to go to the well again and throw it back to him. Come on now. The big fellow is out there. He need to be blocking if he's going to do anything. And give the ball to your best player in Judkins.
Yep.
So congratulations to Lane because he got paid. That's insane. Now, we got a lot of championship games, a whole lot of them this weekend. Starts on Friday. I mean, you got Akron and Buffalo. Yep, 12 o'clock. Akron and Buffalo, December 2nd. Then North Texas and University of Texas San Antonio. That's another interesting football game, but everybody should be excited. Utah, USC. Can Caleb Williams and USC right there wrong? They have 1 blemish on their record. On the road at Utah, they lost by 1 point. On the road at Utah, lost by 1 point. I think they beat the brakes off of them. USC only a 3-point favorite, though. Kind of freaks me out. Listen, I watched Cam Rising this year all the way from the very first game of the year when they were playing Florida. Was it Florida State? Yeah, it was Florida State. I wanted to say Florida, but was it Florida?
No, it was Florida.
It was
because Florida State played LSU the first.
That's
game.
what it was. I remember these games because LSU got beat barely, shouldn't have lost, and then they went out there and they beat Florida 29-26. But Rising threw a bunch of bad picks in that ball game. He did not look efficient. He did not look effective. He wasn't what we thought. Their defense against Anthony Richardson, not anymore AR-15, but Anthony Richardson. I don't know, man. I think that Utah team, they also struggled against UCLA, but Charbonnet was really good that game. DTR was really good. And then they lost to Oregon somehow, 20-17. Bo was all beat up during that ball game. I just feel like Utah, while down the stretch they won a lot of football games, but they played like Arizona's and the Cardinals. Stanford's a horrible football team.
Yeah.
Washington State is a pretty good football team.
They're getting better, yeah.
If you watch the Apple Cup, it was a good game. By the way, though, I will tell you one thing: Michael Penix Jr.
Woo!
That little left arm he's got, he throws a nasty football, doesn't he?
He sure does. I love Michael Penix Jr.
He's got that sucker on a hose. I'll tell you, man, we got all kinds of college football to talk about with David Cobb from CBSSports.com. We're also going to talk a little college basketball as he covers college football and college basketball for CBSSports.com. We're going to talk to him in about 10 minutes at 11:30. Again, a nooner with Gabe Kuhn. We got Hardwood because it feels so good. Busy show. But I talked a little bit earlier about Frontier Western Store. You want to look good. You want to feel good. And do you realize, the holiday season is right around the corner? The holiday season's actually here. We had the Thanksgiving. But man, we got Christmas, we got Hanukkah, all those wonderful things. You got to buy a bunch of gifts. You know that, right? Are you a gift giver?
I love giving gifts.
Well, I got one
Season's
place.
about giving, not receiving.
I like giving and receiving.
That's right.
I do. I like
too.
giving people gifts. I also like it every once in a while when I get one. Now, I'm not going to lie. My kids are at that age where it's not like I'm getting anything. And if I did, it'd be put on my credit card. And I don't need that.
You'd be buying yourself the gifts.
Yes, and that's just it's not a really fun way to actually receive is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you listen to me, you can go to Frontier Western Store and you can do all your shopping at one-stop shop. You can get everybody dressed from head to toe. And I'm talking about they have amazing hats, cowboy hats, work hats, dress hats. I can't think of the name of hats other than ball caps and cowboy hats. Fedora.
There you go.
That's a hat.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it looks like off the top of my head, but I know it's a hat.
Oh.
I think it's like an old-timey hat.
Yeah, I mean, a fedora, that's like what the old PIs would wear.
Oh, yeah, back in the day, yeah. Dude, you can get your hats, you can get your boots, you can get your jeans, you can get all your fall fashions for your entire family, from the toddlers to those who are older and just chilling at the crib. I'm telling you, they have a beautiful ladies' boutique. They have jeans from Ariat to Girly Girl to Miss Me to Wrangler and everything in between. Frontier Western Store. And if you can't get down to 5880 Goodman Road down in Olive Branch from 9 to 7 Monday through Saturday or 1 to 6 on Sunday, you can shop there 24/7, 365 at frontierwesternstore.com. Bing, bang, boom. They ship your order out within 24 hours. You'll have it plenty of time for the holiday season. So head on down to Frontier Western Store or frontierwesternstore.com. I'm in the box.
John, we were actually just talking about my first question for you, and that's that Hugh Freeze got hired by Auburn yesterday. They made it official. He changed his Twitter profile and everything. Because, now with social media, that's what makes it official is when you change your Twitter bio and picture. Did Auburn get it right?
I mean, I don't see really, this is going to sound horrible. I mean, yes. Like, realistically, what was the big splash? Was Matt Rule going to turn Auburn on? No. Was Deion Sanders actually ready already for a job like Auburn? Not really sure. Lane Kiffin, they did. I said you have to go to him once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times and make him say no. He finally did say no. Hugh Freeze was still sitting over there. Remember, he beat Alabama twice.
Yeah.
You know that, right? He beat Alabama twice, man. He did a great job at Ole Miss. Did the program unravel? Yes. Was it compliance issues? Yes. Was there hookers involved? Yes. But again,
what good program doesn't have hookers involved?
I mean, look at Louisville. What
That's
happened?
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? When the basketball team was flying high and Rick Pitino was doing his thing.
Might be a correlation.
I'm just saying. And again, the man, it's not like none of us have done wrong either. Yeah. The things that he did that were, quote, wrong, like people want to say he tried to intimidate a witness or intimidate that young lady who sent the letter to John Cohen down in the plane saying not to hire Hugh Freeze. Well, I mean, he didn't know that the situation, the reason she was talking so much smack. Did that scare you?
It scared me really bad, yeah.
Ooh, sorry about that. The change in the music?
Yeah, it just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, I saw your hands throw up like, uh-oh, I didn't touch anything.
I didn't touch anything.
Oh, and that's how, like Hugh Freeze said. He's like, I didn't touch anything.
I didn't do anything.
Hey, I didn't do nothing, man. No, listen, he paid his penance. He was 2 years out of the game. Arkansas State to Ole Miss. Then he had to go to Liberty. Did a very good job at Liberty. Somehow got Malik Willis into the NFL, and he's playing for the Titans, and the guy can't play the quarterback position to save his life. So I think Hugh's going to do fine down on the Plains. They're going to get used to it. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you think about it. Again, he did win in the SEC. He beat Alabama twice. So I think it's a good hire. I can't complain at all.
That's big down there. The big thing at Auburn's beating Alabama, so he already has that on his resume.
And by the way, people always say, you know what, if we lost every game, but we won the Iron Bowl every year.
Yeah, our only win was against Alabama. That's a good year.
That is such a lie, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, people would be like, 1
in 11.
You would not make it to the Iron Bowl if you lost everything. So I don't want to hear that. You got any more before I get to Cobb?
I do, because we've got a big game today. How much are you going to watch the USA, and do they beat Iran?
Oh my gosh, the soccer game.
It's today, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, right when the show ends.
Yeah.
You can check that out. These two countries are not very friendly. Did you
Ooh,
see?
it is
Did you see
hectic.
the exchange
Yeah.
between one of our little captains and
Tyler Adams
and the
handled it very well.
and the press corps from Iran? He said, "It is not Iran. It is Iran, sir."
Please
And man,
say our country correct.
and he came back and he's like, "I'm sorry,
I'm sorry. That's my
Iran,
bad.
my
Yeah.
bad." You know, he handled it. I thought
But
he handled
did
it very
a
well.
fantastic job.
By the way, they also heard this. Is this true? So one of the players that plays for Iran, is his family being held like captive and tortured?
So I think Dave was talking about that before. From what
I
I've
was
gathered,
listening to it as well, and I went and did a little reading on it.
So what is that they weren't the first game they didn't sing the Iranian national anthem, and in the second game
In protest
they
to what's going on.
And in the second game they kind of like half-heartedly did it, like not really doing it, but like whatever. And so now they're getting threatened by the Iranian government, like, hey, if you don't sing this, our national anthem, we're gonna like hurt your family, basically.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this. I'm very grateful that I live in here.
100%.
I'm glad I'm not in Iran. Good luck today. USA, this is a must-win, right?
Gotta win it.
And they tied England 0-0.
It was a fantastic game against England. But
Did you hear about the
gotta
time
win the game.
traveler, by the way, for TikTok?
No.
There's a guy on TikTok who's now picked 3 games and gave the exact score in
No
3
way.
games. Yes.
Does he have one for today?
No, he gave out one more, and he says the final will be Brazil versus France, and Brazil will win 2-0 over France in the World Cup, and that
Wow.
will prove that he's a time traveler. If he goes 4-0,
He's a time traveler.
He's a time traveler. On the other side, we're talking with David Cobb of CBSSports.com. We got college basketball, college football all next right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Bienvenidos. Welcome to Los Cabos with 4 locations: Quince, Bartlett, Germantown, and now on Goodman Road. Los Cabos serving the best food in town with quality service and a fun family atmosphere. At Los Cabos, food and drink are an important part of the dining experience, so you get exceptional food with cocktails worthy of that food. You'll find the best margaritas at Los Cabos, along with delicious specialty drinks, handcrafted cocktails, beer, and happy hour specials 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Los Cabos is open for lunch and dinner, with lunch specials every day starting at $7. Come enjoy delicious Mexican dishes and seafood at the best sports bars in town. Visit with family and friends and enjoy Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill. Los Cabos, now with 4 locations: Quince, Bartlett, Germantown, and their newest location, 3964 Goodman Road, just a few minutes down the road from Getwell. See you soon at Los Cabos.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A Peppermint Chip Milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town. Open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town. Grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, $2.25. Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
All the wisdom of the universe is in these bones.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Got Brian Dacus in the house. It's about time to talk with David Cobb from CBSSports.com. My man, you can read all his work, of course, at CBSSports.com. He covers basketball. He covers football, all of the college kind. And he's very kind to join me every single Tuesday at 11:30. DC, what up, brother? You doing all right?
Hey, man. Doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Did you enjoy Turkey Day?
Sure did. It was nice. Got a lot of sports going. Good food. It was a good Thanksgiving.
It was a good Thanksgiving. Did you watch a lot of football, or were you all up in the basketball?
Yeah, honestly, I watched more basketball like throughout the week. This Saturday, Friday night, Florida State. I live blogged that game for CBS. And then Saturday, it was obviously all football. But it's that time of year where both are going at once, and I'm my head's spinning keeping track of it all. But it's been a fun ride.
I bet I can only imagine. So you did the Florida State game, man. By the way, man, how is Mike Norvell doing? He looks like he's getting some stuff done down at Florida State, FSU.
Yeah, that was an awesome performance for Florida State in that game. That was his first win over Florida. That was huge. So Florida State closes the regular season on a 5-game winning streak. At one point, they were sitting there at 4-3. Now they close the season at 9-3. All of a sudden, that was huge for Mike Norvell because you flash back to Deion Sanders kind of ripping away Travis Hunter, the nation's #1 prospect at the 11th hour. He was in a bad type of way entering this season because he hadn't had a winning year yet. Florida State had been sub-500 in Norvell's first 2 seasons there, so he needed a year like this to get things going. Now I think there's hope for Florida State under Norvell because you look at Clemson and see them fading a little bit. And who else in the ACC is necessarily
Well, it's
ready
definitely not Miami and the Fighting Mario Cristobal's. Did you know they covered one game this year? They only covered one game. They were 1-10 against the spread.
I hate that we're talking about it without Jay Morgan Harder on the ones and twos today because I know he would love to dish on Mario Cristobal a little bit. But yeah, the U is in fact not back, and North Carolina is good but has its flaws. Clemson's kind of fading a little bit, there's an opportunity now. I think a little bit of momentum here, maybe a chance for a window maybe next year for Mike Norvell and the Noles to break through and compete for the ACC.
Ooh, how awesome would that be? Man, Florida State being back would be a good thing. It's been a while since I've seen, Charlie Ward run around the field acting like a crazy man, doing the little – I don't even know what you used to go. He played a point guard basically on a football field back then. Didn't run the ball nearly as much as a lot of people think, but he was throwing that ball all over the yard. Now I got to get to a little bit of coaching hire situation. Who got it right? Is it Auburn by getting Freeze? Huskers go and get Matt Rule. Deion did confirm that he's got an offer from the Colorado job. Right now, how are things looking for these programs around the country? And Ole Miss, don't forget Lane Kiffin. They got him to stay for an arsenal of cash, and somehow he turned a very bad end of the season into a whole lot of money in his pocket.
Right. Arsenal. I like that word. That's a good way to put it. Lane Kiffin, a big winner, I think, absolutely. He gets the Grove collective really up and running. Under threat of leaving, he's able to sort of secure the bag both for himself and for the program in terms of like the NIL stuff there. So what was already an attractive transfer destination in Ole Miss is now probably armed with even more resources to go out and compete in the portal. I think he's got just as good of a chance to compete for the SEC West at Ole Miss as he does at Auburn. You can talk about history all you want, and I get it. Auburn's been to SEC championship games. They've played for national titles, and those are things that Ole Miss has not done. But this is a new era. History doesn't matter anymore. This is college football 2.0, and I'm sure Auburn's collective money is a little bit bigger and better than Ole Miss's, but honestly, so is their dysfunction. And if you look at the SEC West right now and see the shifting dynamics, you see A&M underperforming every season under Jimbo Fisher. You see Alabama and Nick Saban. He's over 70 now. They've got a 2-loss season. There's a chance for Lane Kiffin to be really successful at Ole Miss. And I don't know if he believes that, which is a shame, but he should, because that's a program I think that's on the rise, on the climb, on the up and up. And look, here's another thing. I'm sorry I'm going on a rant here, John, about Kiffin and the Ole Miss situation. I know college football and college basketball are different. College football is a bigger operation. There's more mouths to feed, both in terms of the staff and the roster from a financial perspective. But look around college basketball and see how many great coaches have turned terrible situations into championship caliber jobs. I mean, look at Scott Drew in Baylor. Look at Tony Bennett in Virginia. Look at Mark Few in Gonzaga. And those guys have had plenty of opportunity to go on to the quote-unquote best job or the richest job or the job with the most sparkly things, right? But they've stayed put and they've had success where they are. I know it's not apples to apples in football, but I don't buy that it can't be done in football. I think it can be, because you look at Ole Miss and what they're good at. Kiffin prides himself on being an offensive innovator. You don't necessarily need all 85 scholarship guys to be paid to the max of the NIL to have a really creative and innovative offense that can reach a 12-team college football playoff moving forward. So I think this is a new era of college football. I don't know if Lane Kiffin believes he can be really successful at Ole Miss, but I believe he can be. So anyway, there's my rant, my tangent for today.
Shoot, I like the tangent. I agree with the tangent 100%. The 12-team playoff is going to be absolutely huge for the programs that you've been discussing, especially one down a little south of us down in Oxford. I think that is absolutely true. Now, the Huskers, Matt Rule. Is there? I mean, you talked about it just a little bit ago. You know, if this was the past, I mean, Texas would be good, Nebraska would be good, the Hurricanes would be good. Like you said, you know, you can't always keep these programs up. Is there anybody that can resurrect the Huskers? And is Matt Rule the right guy? Because they're going to pay him $74 million over 8 years.
I think it's a great hire for Nebraska because of what he did at Temple and what he did at Baylor. There's a strong track record there. And I don't think NFL failure at this point should really spook us at all.
Dude, Nick Saban was a failure at Miami, please.
Yeah, and Steve Spurrier was a failure as well. He comes back and is really good at South Carolina. Obviously, Urban Meyer, we know, great college football coach, terrible NFL coach.
He did in Jacksonville was atrocious.
Yes, but I don't think anyone would dispute his chops as a college football coach. So, the Rule hire, very, very nice hire. In fact, you know, the Wisconsin hire, too, another one that's really nice, Luke Fickell. Pretty wild to see them go away from Jim Leonard. It sort of seemed assumed in a lot of ways that Jim Leonard would take over for Paul Chryst, a really good defensive coordinator, former Badger player. But they go out and get Fickell. So some pretty good hires so far in this cycle. You don't actually look at any of them and think, oh, wow, that's like Brian Kelly going to LSU, or that's like Lincoln Riley going to USC. But, like, still all pretty solid hires to this point.
Don't you feel like the Luke Fickell, though, is probably the best hire of all of them? Because, like I said, remember Luke, he got basically dissed by Ohio State. I can't imagine anybody who wants to go to Wisconsin more and beat up on the Buckeyes, Michigan just did this weekend.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because I think Fickell had a shot at the Notre Dame job last season, but Cincinnati was in the playoff. He wasn't really able. He wasn't going to leave a playoff-bound team to go to Notre Dame, in late November. I just don't think that was in his character or something he was going to do. But this time around, that Wisconsin job's open. So I don't know that the Wisconsin job is as good as the Notre Dame job. And the Cincinnati job, depending on how you look at it, I think a lot of people would say it's about to get better because they're going to the Big 12. So, I mean, it's going to be more difficult to win games. Even without Texas and Oklahoma in the Big 12, you still got to deal with some pretty good teams in that league. So maybe Fickell thought, hey, it's going to be more difficult to win at Cincinnati. I think others would look at Cincinnati now and say, all right, Texas and Oklahoma are leaving the Big 12. Yeah, you can take Cincinnati pretty far in that conference. But it's just interesting because he's leaving a Power 5 job, what is technically a Power 5 job now at Cincinnati, to go to Wisconsin. So, I mean, I think it's a good fit. I think it's a great hire. I just don't know that it's as obvious from Fickell's standpoint as maybe it would have been a few years ago.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, but I will say I'm kind of curious. I wanted to ask you what you thought about this. Do you think there's any chance Urban Meyer goes back to his alma mater and goes to Cincinnati and becomes the Bearcats' next coach?
It would kind of make sense if you think about it in some weird type of ways with his history there. I think his son is on staff there or was in some sort of a GA or quality control capacity. So I don't think it happens, but it would be a slam dunk. I mean, look, everyone's going to do what they're doing now about Hugh Freeze and clutch their pearls, point to all the terrible things Urban Meyer's done in the past. And I get it. Like all those things are valid. That they detract from our assessment of the man's character. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Urban Meyer or Hugh Freeze are men of high integrity and high character, but they're football coaches. Why do we expect and elevate football coaches in our culture to be these people of the utmost integrity and the arbiters of morals and right and wrong? Why do we try to put them on the speaker circuit and bring them to our churches to speak? It makes no sense. They're football coaches, right? And the moment we start looking to them as something more is the moment that we're disappointed and let down. So yeah, Hugh Freeze and Urban Meyer have a lot of nasty things in their past, but they're good at winning football games. And if that's something you prioritize as a university, then hiring them is a good decision.
It's just kind of like, why is the moral compass of the world all of a sudden became the golfers? Oh, you got to stay with the PGA. I mean, if you go to this Saudi-backed league that's going to pay you like $200 million on the upfront, you're just, dude, come on. It's business.
The joke is on us because we're looking to athletic figures to be some sort of like heroes for us. And I just don't understand why. All they do is let us down time and time again.
The thing that's so weird is I look up to people. I, admire people. I think they're, I wish I was as good as them. But let's be honest, every person is still just a man. The only difference between somebody you admire is they probably just work a little bit harder than you do. That's just the truth of the matter. So I don't know why we put football coaches on top of the we don't have a Mount Rushmore of football coaches that actually put up, do we?
No, and it's like I get it. Like you want somebody in a position of authority to be somebody who is a good leader, but at the same time, like there's a lot of times when they're not, but they're still good at their job because they get the job done. And if you surround them with the right people, right, like if they're really going to keep Hugh Freeze from running his own social media account and they're going to have some babysitters there at Auburn to keep him from just going crazy, then like, okay, you can make that work. You can't bury your head in the sand with this stuff. You can't say, oh, well, we don't care about the morals and it's all about winning or losing and then just let a guy go and do whatever he wants. Like that's a recipe for disaster. But anyway, it's interesting.
It is very interesting. Now, speaking of, I got it. Again, David Cobb, CBSSports.com. Follow him on Twitter at David W. Cobb. Of course, he does college football. He also does college basketball. There's a lot of football I could talk to you about the whole time, but I wanted to ask you about this Houston team. AP has them ranked number 1 in the country. Kelvin Sampson's fighting basketball team. Are they really deserving of the number 1 rank? How good are they?
I would actually say no at this point.
They have one good. Is it because they only have one technically decent win?
Yeah, they won at Oregon. That's a decent win. If they'd won that game at home, I wouldn't even qualify it as a decent win. Oregon's been pretty bad so far, but they went on the road and they beat Oregon. That's their one decent win. Go and look at Purdue right now. Go and look at Virginia. Those guys are undefeated with high-quality victories. I mean, Virginia beat Baylor. They beat Illinois. You go and look at what Purdue did with wins over Duke and Gonzaga and the Phil Knight stuff this past week, West Virginia as well. Just way more on those resumes. And so it's just sort of a benefit of the doubt from the AP voters at this point that, hey, Houston started in the top 5. They haven't lost yet. So let's just bump them up. It's the same reason North Carolina was number 1 for longer than they deserved to be. I mean, it was obvious from watching North Carolina's first few games against some bad teams that they hadn't quite figured it out yet. And then, of course, they were exposed this past week. So I don't know that Houston necessarily is going to get exposed. Their schedule just isn't all that tough. But I definitely think the other teams around them in the rankings have done more to this point.
Like especially Zach Edey and Purdue. I mean, you beat Gonzaga by, 18, and I think Duke by 19. That's That's insane.
Very impressive. Yeah. The Purdue is legit, and yeah, Edie is really good. And then they lost Jaden Ivey and seem to have moved on without missing a beat. Like they've got some lowly touted, relatively speaking, freshmen who are just playing really good ball for them. So awesome job by Matt Painter so far.
Ethan Morton playing pretty good. What is he? He's a
vet,
he is
but
a
not
vet.
somebody who you expect.
I never heard of him until this year. Okay?
Well, I think he was like their 8th man last year, and then they got this kid, lawyer, so Foster Lawyer's younger brother, whose name I'm totally blanking on, even though I watched him ball out this past week. But he is. You remember the little short point guard from Michigan State who's at Davidson now. Well, his little brother is a pretty good player himself, and he's, I think, a large part of the reason why Purdue has been so good early this season.
Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, Auburn. Who's the best team in the SEC?
I honestly think it might be Alabama. Tennessee, obviously, huge performance in the Battle for Atlantis. They win that thing with an impressive 14-point win over Kansas. My problem with Tennessee is that I just don't trust Tennessee offensively. They're going to get in some of those rock fights and end up losing some games that a team with any sort of offensive firepower would win. And then you go and look at Alabama. They managed to beat North Carolina in 4 overtimes the other day with their best player, Brandon Miller, going 4 of 21 from the field. So there's enough other cannons on that Alabama team for them to withstand a bad shooting night from 1 or 2 players. They've got some serious offensive firepower. Brandon Miller, if you don't know the name yet, keep it on your radar, because after Victor Wembanyama, he's probably going to be right up there in the conversation to be 2, 3, 4, in this next NBA draft. The man is 6'9". He can shoot he shoots literally just as well, as pure as anyone playing basketball at a high level right now. It's insane. He's shooting 48% on 7 attempts per game. Alabama has all those ingredients. They got the transfers, they've got the highly touted freshmen, and then they got some veteran guards and some guys who have been around the block. So I think Alabama actually has a shot to go pretty far.
All right, we got the ACC and the Big Ten challenge coming up here in just tomorrow? Does it start tomorrow?
It's kind of like ongoing. I think there was 1 or 2 games last night, and then there'll be a few more today, a few more tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Ohio State, Duke. That's a big one. On North Carolina, Indiana. I want to see that bad boy. Indiana's been a pretty good basketball team as well. Why are they doing away with the ACC Big Ten Challenge?
I think it's a TV thing. I think it's because the Big Ten and ESPN are splitting. The Big Ten's kind of going straight to Fox for its TV rights, with football and basketball and whatnot. So, ESPN, if you're a Big Ten fan, you're not going to be able to find your teams on ESPN very much in the future. Regardless of sport, which is kind of wild, considering how big those brands are, how big ESPN's brand is, the fact that those two aren't going to have a relationship. So, yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of sad, I guess, they're breaking up all these intra-conference challenges, but there will be new ones to come in and replace them. So, say farewell to the ACC Big Ten Challenge. All that talk we heard about alliances and collaborations last year whenever the SEC was making its moves. Boy, that stuff sure broke down quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. David, I appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy the ACC Big Ten tournament, and we'll do it again next week, brother.
All right, man. Sounds good.
That is David Cobb, CBSSports.com. Don't forget to check him out on Twitter at David W. Cobb. On the other side, talking a little bit about quarterbacks. Then we have a nooner with Gabe Kuhn on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Today on Fox. Wow! Oh my goodness! The Stars and Stripes must come out strong in a huge World Cup group stage clash.
And he just rifles his home.
Christian Pulisic once again leads the U.S. Young Guns.
Now that is magnificent!
As they take the field for a crucial showdown against Iran.
A moment of magic!
USA, Iran. Coverage begins today at 1 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, I want to talk about our seasoning and sauce today. Our sauce is a great blend of sweet, mustard, and vinegar. It's good on so many items other than barbecue. It's good on pizza. People use it in lieu of ketchup. But our seasoning is the original dry rub, created by my father using a mixture of Greek and Cajun spices. People think our sauce and seasoning are good just during the grilling season. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's good year-round. Our seasoning is good on fish, chicken, deviled eggs, corn on the cob, French fries. People even put a dash in a Bloody Mary. To get a complete list of all of our recipes using our products, go to hogsfly.com, click recipes, and you'll see 50 wonderful items and dishes. And Brett, our sauce and seasoning is available at most grocery stores, and if they don't have it, please remind your grocer to stock it. And our slaw is also available at most Kroger stores.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. Depending on how long you've been around, you've likely known my name for 30 years. Perhaps for my 20 years as the morning show on Kix 106 as the Young and Elder Show, or my 15 years at Brian Elder Roofing. So obviously, my reputation means everything to me. One terrible customer experience could tarnish a third of a century of goodwill. My reputation for quality and strong relationships is our main focus. We're the highest certification, a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning. If you have a business or a commercial building, we're the highest certification for warranties with GAF and Mulehide products. We don't come at you in sales mode. If you got a problem, sometimes the solution is just to fix the problem. Call me right now. I'll come out and see you today. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston for QC Kinetics. Remember the guy for the Hair Club of Men who would say, I'm not just the president, but I'm a client. Well, I'm not just a spokesman, but I'm a client of QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in exciting new pain treatments with advanced regenerative medicine. It's a remedy for all the joint pain you're dealing with in the hips, shoulder, elbows, wherever it may be, pain from injury or arthritis. QC Kinetics uses regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue and do so without surgery, drugs, or downtime. And in my business, I can't afford downtime. QC Kinetics is also an alternative way for those dealing with pain caused by injury like a torn meniscus or rotator cuff injury, which is what I'm dealing with. So don't keep living with that pain. Do what I'm doing, getting relief from QC Kinetics. Call for a free consultation today. 901-445-1010. That's 901-445-1010. 901-445-1010.
Get ready for your holiday road trip in a new ride from Gossett Kia on the Pike. How about 41 MPG Highway? Get it in 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $289 a month, 36-month lease, $27.99 due at signing. Or get a thrill for real in 2023 Kia K5 LXS. $365 a month, 36-month lease, $31.99 due at signing. And if you don't see what you want, not a problem. Let Bobby J order you a new ride today at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And you won't pay over MSRP. Plus, Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Forte PE 543,577, MSRP 22,335, K5 PG 186,690, MSRP 27,765. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Kia. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/22. With approved credit, dealer stock only. Warranties and limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I got Brian Dacus hanging out with me. Man, the whole Deion Sanders stuff is heating up, isn't it? Everybody wants a little Dion.
Is there any update? I know that he was offered the job, and he confirmed it.
Well, he just went out. I just was watching during the break a little question and answer about him and the Buffs, and you can also check that out. I'll retweet it. I'm at Johnny_radio.
Do you think he would be a good fit there?
At the Buffs?
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched Colorado football?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a. Let me tell you something. Cordell Stewart ain't walking through that door.
No, he is not.
Oh, my goodness. It's been a long time since Colorado was really good at football. Heck, they had Westbrook. They had, what was it? Was Rashawn Salam also a Buffalo?
Maybe.
I think he was. They had some players back in the day. Now I'm going to go crazy over the Rashawn Salam. I think he was a Buffalo. Westbrook. He was. Man, yes. I remember some peeps that used to play for the Buffalo, man. Back in the day, you probably weren't even a thought in your daddy's brain.
Certainly was not.
You don't even remember when, by the way, you don't remember Colorado ever being good at all, do you?
No, they've always been terrible.
I think it would be a horrible fit, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people say that they would love it. I also saw a lot of people in Cincinnati said that they'd run through the streets naked if Dion was their next coach.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That was on the Twitter. It was just some dude, but.
Just one guy, but hey, that speaks for the whole entire fan base.
Hey, man, dude, I get when I see, I'd run naked through the streets, if they actually did that.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
It is a big commitment. That is a huge commitment. In fact, it is. He said he'd run through Clifton. Is that? I guess that's a city.
Yes, so.
Yep. Well,
Clifton, Ohio.
I'm guessing since Cincinnati is in Ohio.
Yeah, that was a stupid question. But maybe he's a fan that doesn't live in Ohio. It's a small town. Maybe he could go through there. Only a population of 132. Yeah, I'd run butt naked through that town. Nobody's going to see you.
Yeah, dude, 132 people, except for if they do have a nice social media following. Maybe there's somebody really funny in the town. Now, speaking of things, I was going to talk a little bit about the quarterback situation, some Patrick, some Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, et cetera, et cetera. We'll do that a little bit later with Mr. Gabe Kuhn, but I did want to remind you, it's a gambling day. Now, you're thinking, what football game we got? We don't have any action tonight.
Nope.
We don't have any day basketball. I mean, 5 o'clock, we got some college basketball. There's the NBA tonight, but you can bet on Iran, or you can bet on the United States and a little soccer, or you can get prepared for the NFL Week 13. You can get it off on the right foot with a no-sweat same-game parlay from FanDuel. That is America's #1 sports book. It doesn't matter if you're new to FanDuel or already have an account. You'll get free bets back if your Thursday night same-game parlay doesn't hit. NFL same-game parlays are the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. You can build your own, or if you go to FanDuel, they have popular same-game parlays that are pre-built. I kind of like this week maybe some Mac Jones under passing yards, Josh Allen, anytime touchdown. And how about let's go with the Buffalo Bills and the money line. There's a little 3-team play. You get to put it in. Now, you can listen to me. You can build your own. Or, again, you can choose from one of the same-game parlays that are pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. However you want to play, you can bet the NFL on Thursday night with a no-sweat same-game parlay. Just sign up with the promo code HAPPY if you don't have an account. If you already have FanDuel, you're all set. Just sign in, see what you got. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 and present in Tennessee. 3-leg minimum, $1 bet required. Refund issue is non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 7 days after you receive them. Max free bet $5. Restrictions apply. See the terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. Gabe Kuhn next, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
And if the band you're in starts playing different tunes, I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Hey guys, Platinum Jewelers wants to make you feel like a king or queen this holiday season and all year long. It's where the Tigers and Grizzlies go. Platinum Jewelers specializes in diamond engagement rings and customization, and they have a wide variety of watches, bracelets, earrings, and rings. They'll pay top dollar for your gold and diamonds, and wholesale pricing is available. Platinum Jewelers, 9387 Poplar Avenue in Germantown, next to Fresh Market. Call 901-907-0626. Platinum Jewelers, proud supporters of the Memphis Tigers.
New government regulations are driving HVAC prices higher. Call the pros at Conway Services today to beat the price increase by replacing that old, inefficient system with a new, energy-efficient heating and cooling system. If you call now, you'll receive a free furnace with select new cooling systems and a free Nest thermostat. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Hey, Jeff Allen, the year's winding down. What you got planned before we ring in the new year at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
Year-end sales event is on. How about 41 MPG Highway 2023 Kia Forte LXS $289 a month, 36-month lease with $27.99 due at signing, or a 2022 Kia Sorento $391 a month, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
Jeff, you're smashing high gas prices, and you got something for everybody over there. Plus, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
But if you don't see exactly what you're looking for, I'll order it for you, and you won't pay over MSRP at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia Mount Moriah.
That's Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. Forte PE 543,577, MSRP 22,335, Sorrento NG 149,424, MSRP 32,305. Includes all rebates and incentives, plus minus through Kia, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/22. With approved credit dealer stock only. Warranties and limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
That is one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Brian Dacus is in the house hanging with me. Big thanks to David Cobb, who joined us at 11:30. We talked a lot of college football and some college hoops. But it's time for a little nooner with Gabe Kuhn. We're going to talk a lot of NFL, talk a lot of football. But first, I got to talk about something that I know Gabe loves. And that would be Central Barbecue. They got 4 great locations, downtown, Central, Summer. The new bad boy out here out east in Memphis on Poplar, the blue building. You can go to eatcbq.com and ship that beautiful Q anywhere around the world. Talk about a good present for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever you celebrate. A birthday maybe. Maybe you're a December baby. Ship that barbecue. I'm telling you, it's the best barbecue in the world because it's the best barbecue in Memphis. And if you can hear my voice, you can be there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail because they have 4 great locations. The barbecue nachos, the wings, the pulled pork, the pulled chicken, the ribs. Everything is straight fire. Get your Q on at Central Barbecue. What's up, Gabe? How you doing today?
What's happening, man?
Man, I just first got to say congratulations, my brother.
Oh, my man, thank you.
Man, that is.
Thank you.
How nervous were you? Were you nervous?
I was a little bit anxious about it, but I wasn't. It wasn't about the answer. You know what I mean? I sort of knew I was going to get a yes. Not to sound like
No, it's cool. Let me just be honest with you. This is why women don't ask men to get married and men ask women. Because they kind of make it apparent, like, if they're going to say yes. Because they let you know on the front end, like, hey, it might be time to get married. Whereas men are like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but I was thinking about getting married one day.
Yeah, The only thing that cracked me up is I had my family up there, and when I did it, it took them about like 20 seconds to actually sort of give any sort of celebration clap or anything. It was just quiet. It's interesting.
It was interesting. By the way, how did you get all the flowers on the ground?
A little bit. Actually, Alex's girlfriend Lexi,
dude,
handled that for me.
That is awesome.
She's fantastic.
That is awesome, man. Literally, seriously, congratulations to y'all. I'm very excited for you and Taylor, by the way.
There you go.
Just do me a favor, tell her, hey, John still remembers your name. But no, I'm very, very excited for you. Now, I'm going to get to a little bit of football, and I'm going to ask you something. This is totally off kilter, surprisingly. But did you by any chance hear the Deshaun Kaiser interview with Adam Brenneman?
I heard about it. I haven't gotten to watch it in full yet.
It's the craziest thing I've ever. I mean, it's not crazy. It just feels so Aaron Rodgers. All off season, my man wins 2 MVPs back to back, playing quarterback at just a different level. A lot's changed with that team. He doesn't have Devontae Adams. My man Christian Watson, who's now scoring touchdowns like it's going out of style, couldn't catch the ball at the beginning of the year. A lot has changed. My man's got a broken thumb. A lot of people are blaming on the offseason. But my man is a different bird. The first time he ever talked to Deshaun Kaiser, because he was the backup in 2018.
He asked about 9/11, right?
Yes. So Kaiser tells it like this. He says he's talking to Adam Brenneman, and he's like, man, first time I meet Aaron Rodgers, he walks in and he shuts the door. So it's just me and him. And he goes, hey, man, do you believe in 9/11? And Kaiser says that he just looked at him. He's like, what do you mean do I believe in 9/11? Why wouldn't I? He's like, bro. He's like, you need to do a little research. You need to go look into it. Check on those conspiracy theories. And then he starts talking about it. He's like, and so he went out there and started like checking out, and they started exchanging books. And the way they bonded was on conspiracy theories around 9/11. Is that not the craziest story ever?
Well, it honestly, no, it's not crazy considering what we know about Aaron Rodgers now. Maybe when he was there, maybe when Deshaun Kaiser was there, it wouldn't have surprised me. But what we know about Aaron Rodgers is, I guess I'll try to put it the nice way. He's a free thinker. He's a wild card these days. So knowing what I know now, it's not surprising. But damn, man, I mean, I don't know. I usually try to stay away from the conspiracy theories the first day I meet someone.
Yeah, I feel you.
It usually doesn't go well.
Yeah.
From there,
hey,
if that's how you bond.
Is Earth round or is it flat?
Well, you answer that for me. Is it round or flat?
I think it's round, bro. I'm just gonna
Okay, there you go.
It's flat.
I think it's round, man. I
Give
really
me proof
do.
that it's round.
I can't prove it because I'm not a scientist, but I just have this crazy belief that it is. Now, do you think OBJ is going to be a Cowboy? Jerry Jones sure seems to think so. How come he hadn't made this decision? By the way, I know Jones doesn't care about the whole OBJ plane incident. It's not that big of a deal anyway.
Well, I mean, he was passed out on a plane and was
in Miami. Who wouldn't be passed out on the airplane in Miami?
And he was in and out of consciousness on a plane in Miami, and he's supposed to be in trouble for it.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It feels kind of whatever happened on that plane seems
feels
a little
like
bit.
The little stewardess boy was a little bit a little pushy. I think he should have chilled, reached down, buckled his seatbelt, and then let everybody fly off instead of exiting the whole entire plane and having police escort OBJ. And they didn't even give him a citation or arrest him.
I know it sounds like there was a little too much made out of it. Sounds like OBJ got actually treated a little bit wrong in that situation. But no. I think if he's going to get signed by the Cowboys, they need to make this happen relatively soon because they need to get him going and sort of involved in that offense before you get to playoff time. I like the Cowboys a whole lot this year. I really do. Like this is the best group that they have had. It feels like basically in my lifetime. I think it comes down to their run game's very solid. They have Zeke in a great change of pace and honestly probably the better back.
Tony
in
Pollard
general. And Tony. They have enough in the way of talent on the outside with CeeDee Lamb, but they need to add that second guy. Michael Gallup hasn't really come along as well after the injury. But that defense is going to uphold them. as long as we play football this year. They have been fantastic. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year type guy. They have a bunch of guys that can get after the quarterback. Trayvon Diggs, as much as I thought he was a little bit, even as an All-Pro last year, with his 11 picks, I thought he was a tad bit overrated. I think he has stepped it up, and he's playing a high level of football. If they can get Odell Beckham Jr. involved, I feel very good about their chances to compete in the NFC, because that team is for real this year. That team, truthfully, is on a different level than I've seen them in a long time.
Yeah, it really is, and I got to give a lot of respect to the Cowboys. Heck, the whole NFC East right now, you got to give a lot of respect to. The Eagles are playing well. Cowboys, the Commanders have won 3 straight. I think they're about to put the Giants I think they're going to put the Giants to bed relatively soon.
My guy Taylor Heineke. How about
that's
it,
my
man?
guy. I've been telling you that since last year. Did I not?
I mean, he's 10-4 in his last 14 starts. That's
Yep.
unbelievable.
He's
5-1
awesome.
He starts games. That's insane. It's insane.
I think Taylor Heineke goes on the road, beats New York Giants, and then the very next week they come home and then they end the Giants' deadgum chances to make the playoffs. I think
Here's
two
my
weeks in a
question.
row they slap them.
Here's my question: Who in the NFL is willing to drop a bag to go get Taylor Heineke? I've seen in the past Matt Flynn go get a contract. Why can't Taylor Heineke get a decent contract?
You know, Matt Flynn, that's a great point. Matt Flynn, when he filled in with the Green Bay Packers, was like Aaron Rodgers light, and then he went out there and lost his job to Russell Wilson.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so we'll see.
But he did.
I don't know. I'm not sure how long the rest of his contract is, Taylor Heineke's. Can't be much longer.
No, it really can't. Now, back over to the NFC, we talked about how the NFC East is just it's a beast. But who do you think the best team in the NFC is? A lot of people look at the Eagles. The Vikings' record says certain things. What the 49ers are doing of late with their additions, the defense, Jimmy G's being effective. Who do you like in the NFC? Who's the best team right now?
Who's the most right now?
Right now, well, who do you think's going to be the best team when everything is said and done and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? Yeah.
Who I trust the most, I have a hard time not going with the 49ers.
Me neither.
They feel like the best hope to me. They've been there, first of all. They may not have won a Super Bowl, but they've been there. They're experienced. Kyle Shanahan has Super Bowl experience, even though it's a little bit rough.
Even going back to those Falcons days.
But they're built for playoff football. They're physical. Once you get into those winter months, they're ready to bring the fight to you, and you have to be ready. They're the best defense. They give up the least amount of points. The last 3 games, they've given like 8.7 points per game, only given up 15 points per game on the year. They're the best rush defense in the NFL. They allow the least rushing yards. And they're getting contributions from just about everyone.
Dude,
right?
Brandon Ayuk, is he one of the most underrated wide receivers that nobody
he's been
talks about?
Kittle's been unbelievable. Deebo Samuel's been solid.
Run CMC.
Christian McCaffrey has been a check down god. It has unlocked that offense in a different way. I also look at the defensive side of the ball, and they have a safety, a rookie, Talanoa Hufanga, who's just like, he's probably playing at an all-pro level. People don't even know about it. They have guys up front that they can trust. And this week against the Saints was their 4th consecutive second-half shutout, right? And they shut the Saints out altogether. It was a 13-0 game. They didn't play that well on offense, but that was their 4th consecutive second-half shutout. They are playing with a different level of physicality that I don't think anyone wants to see right now. That's and I think that I like the Cowboys. I like what the Eagles bring. But right now, the 49ers just feel like the team I trust the most in the NFC. And I don't really care about what their record is right now. It's 7-4, although they have won several straight. They've won 4 straight. But they may not have the best record in the NFC, but that's the team I'm looking at right this second as the team to beat.
I'm with you. I'm dead serious when I say this. I mean, this 49ers team, like you said, they have everything. They've got their defensive backs, linebackers. They got the tight end, the wide receivers, the running backs. And Jimmy G is an effective quarterback. Is he Joe Burrow? Is he Tua? Is he Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? No, but he's still dead gum pretty good.
What's done it for me too with him we can talk about him coming up short in the downfield passing game and him against the Chiefs not being able to make that one extra throw. Like, I get that. But having Christian McCaffrey on his side
makes
on
him look
third down,
good.
check down. I mean, it's kind of a cheat code. It feels like a cheat code in a lot of ways. And it has made him a better quarterback, especially statistically on paper. So we will see going forward if the 49ers can stay healthy enough to put themselves in a great position in the playoffs. But they look to control the NFC at this point.
All right, Denver Broncos are a straight dumpster fire. Do you put more blame on Nathaniel Hackett or Russell Wilson?
Oh gosh, honestly, I separated a little bit. I put about 60% on Nathaniel Hackett, 40% on Russell Wilson in that contract and how much his team hates him. I don't know if you saw the Mike
not like
Purcell.
You know he's got more bathrooms in his house than he has touchdown passes.
8 TDs to 5 INTs.
Do you know Carson Wentz has more touchdown passes and hadn't played in 6 weeks?
I'm amazed. And did you see Mike Purcell?
I thought he was going to beat him up. I thought he was going to beat him up when he went on the sideline.
He's running off the field, and Russell Wilson probably said, "Hey, man, relax." And Mike Purcell probably said, "Dude, we have been carrying y'all." He probably didn't say it in a very nice tone, but we have been carrying this team the entire year. And the offense has been miserable. But I don't know what to say. Nathaniel Hackett, I saw a story yesterday about him potentially being a one-and-done coach. I think that needs to be a severe thought. I think they need to potentially cut ties. They have a talented team, supposedly. But Nathaniel Hackett can't call offense, and he can't hack it as a NFL head football coach.
Nope.
And Russell Wilson, just the regression's unbelievable. I can't believe we are where we are with him. I always thought he was a tad bit, and I mean a tad bit, overrated with Seattle. It's well documented when they won their Super Bowl that Marshawn Lynch, the running game was fantastic. The defense was great. So I always thought he was a tad bit overrated. But I don't think he's near as bad as what he's showing this year. So I just think they need a change at the top. I think they're locked into that contract, and they sort of have to go forward with it. But if to answer your question, I'd go about 60% Nathaniel Hackett, 40% Russell Wilson at this point, because their defense is not at fault for anything that's happened this year. They've been very solid.
Man, and by the way, also, did you hear some of the Melvin Gordon as he was departing Denver and he got cut? He didn't have very nice things to say about Nathaniel Hackett at all. Kind of just pulled the curtains back and basically said
he seemed pretty for a guy who lost his job. He seemed pretty okay with it.
With getting out of there.
He didn't seem to mind being out of Denver.
Dolphins have won 5 in a row. Chiefs have won 5 in a row. These teams are playing out of control. Nobody right now has got a longer win streak than these two football teams right now. Who do you like better, Kansas City or Miami?
I like Kansas City just because of their experience and being here. But I'm not going to discount Miami. Miami's been unbelievable. They have probably the best wide receiver core. Not even probably. They have the best wide receiver core in the NFL, the fastest team. They have so much team speed, it's not even cool. I would probably lean to their defense a little bit more than the Chiefs, but I just feel like with the Chiefs, you can't discount the experience. You can't discount they have been there, done that. They have been counted out several times over the years. And I looked at last year even, where Patrick Mahomes threw a bunch of picks early. They struggled, and they still were there by the end in the AFC Championship. This year, Tyreek Hill leaves. They're counted out of the AFC West. Guess what? They're at the top again. I just think the Chiefs are an experienced group, and I like their makeup in general.
I made this statement earlier in the show. I got a couple of people who looked at me like a little bit cross and thought I was crazy. I don't understand why, because I think this is pretty obvious. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the National Football League. Nobody goes into his house and beats him, except for Joe Burrow did it last year, just his third year in the league. I think he's playing the quarterback position as good, if not better, than every quarterback not named Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's a crazy statement, is it?
Joe Burrow?
Exactly.
saying
Yes,
Joe Burrow?
but second best quarterback
Listen,
in the
I
NFL.
love Joe. I love Joe Burrow. Coming off a win against the Titans, so I give him props for that. I give more of the team props for that. They held Derrick Henry to 38 yards rushing in that game, that defense. I love Joe Burrow, Johnny. I do think every time he wins, we do this thing where we overrate him just a tad bit. I think he is up there.
He's been hit and sacked more than any quarterback in the last 2 years in the National Football League. Yet he still has one of the higher QBRs.
I think he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, no question.
Who are you taking over him?
I don't know. I don't know if I can just go ahead and put him right behind Patrick Mahomes in this conversation. I don't know if I can do that. He's got really good weapons on the outside. He's been very good, but I just feel like as a NFL society, how we talk about Joe Burrow, I think we do a little bit of overrating at times. Who else? And I know
name one quarterback that has gone into Kansas City and beaten.
I know he's been sacked a whole lot. Go look last year at how the Bengals got through. Go look at how the Bengals got through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. It's a lot of defensive prowess. The defense picked off Ryan Tannehill 3 times. The offense didn't do much that day. Against the Chiefs, they were able to go win in overtime. That was probably the biggest, their best offensive performance in the entire playoffs. But most of the time, it's a full team effort. And Joe Burrow is part of that team effort. I'm not saying he isn't, but I get the feeling that he is 7-4. He's at the top of the AFC North. He's being compared to Lamar Jackson. So we go to this, we start to overrate a tad bit and talk about him a little bit more because we also have the tendency to go against Lamar Jackson.
I mean, you got to be able to throw the football to play a quarterback.
NFL society. Like I like Joe Burrow, but what has been done this week, in all the comparisons between the Bengals and the Ravens and him and Lamar Jackson, I don't know how much I
don't even think it's close.
I think he's playing quarterback at a high level. To answer your first question, I think he's playing at a very high level.
How many playoff games has Lamar won?
1.
How many has Joe Burrow won?
3. 2.
3. He's been to a Super Bowl. How many quarterbacks have beaten Patrick Mahomes on the way to a Super Bowl right now? Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. That's it. I'm just saying, I mean, the guy he gets it done. I mean, he did win a natty, came in his first year, was really good, got injured. Second year goes to the Super Bowl.
I'm not hating on Joe Burrow. I just think we do a little too much when it comes to Joe Burrow. Team success has to do with them winning those playoff games as well. I mean, that's part of it.
Do we do that with Josh Allen and Justin Herbert then?
What?
Do we do it with Josh Allen and Justin Herbert then? Because we've pretty much anointed both of them, and they, Josh Allen, great game. Patrick Mahomes got him. That was
right.
That was the most insane game I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Tough. He didn't get,
that was tough. So I'm not holding that against Josh Allen. The one thing that worries me about Josh Allen is he has been a little bit turnover prone.
He's a little erratic and he's turnover heavy. Justin Herbert, he's been without his 2 wide receivers, and that run defense is so, oh my gosh, 32 out of 32. It's horrible.
By the way, speaking of bad coaches, Brandon
They
Staley.
had James Conner out there looking like Walter Payton, dude. It was horrible.
I'm sorry when you say that. That just kind of makes me laugh. By the way, have you finally given up on Kyler Murray?
Huh?
Have we finally given up on Kyler Murray? Are you still? Are you going to die on that one?
You know what I hate? I hate to be this guy, Donnie.
You
I
haven't
haven't
done
given
it yet.
up on him. I haven't given up on him. I think the talent's still unbelievable. But damn, I think he needs to be without Cliff. We need to see him without Cliff, but that also scares me at the same time. Because I felt like Cliff was probably, for his style of quarterback, was probably a relatively good fit offensively. But Cliff, when it comes to tight red zone play calling, when it comes to some of the gadgets he tries to run, it's ugly.
It's ugly. It really is. I agree with you 100%. I agree 100%. Gabe, I could talk to you all day long. Again, big congratulations on your engagement. I know you and Taylor are going to have a wonderful life. By the way, this is like, never mind. I'm not even going to say that because that just would not be appropriate on the radio. Never mind. I was going to say something nice, but then I realized that we are still talking.
Just call
on
me
the
at the break, brother.
I'll
Just
call
me
you
at the break, brother.
Congratulations, Pimpin'. Have a blessed day.
All right, man.
That's my buddy Gabe Kuhn. Follow him at G_Kuhn71. And listen to him every single day, Monday through Friday, with Brett Norsworthy right here on Sports 56, 3 to 6 with Sports Time. On the other side, it's time to go to Hardwood, where it just feels so good. Don't you dare touch the dial. It is a wet Tuesday. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
I'm Brian Elder. Depending on how long you've been around, you've likely known my name for 30 years. Perhaps for my 20 years as the morning show on Kix 106 as the Young and Elder Show, or my 15 years at Brian Elder Roofing. So obviously, my reputation means everything to me. One terrible customer experience could tarnish a third of a century of goodwill. My reputation for quality and strong relationships is our main focus. We're the highest certification, a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning. If you have a business or a commercial building, we're the highest certification for warranties with GAF and Mulehide products. We don't come at you in sales mode. If you got a problem, sometimes the solution is just to fix the problem. Call me right now. I'll come out and see you today. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions. We built this city alright.
Starship featuring Mickey Thomas will be at this year's AutoZone Liberty Bowl, and you want to be there too. This legendary group will perform at the President's Gala on December 27th at the Peabody and at halftime of the 64th AutoZone Liberty Bowl on December 28th.
Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Get your tickets today by calling the AutoZone Liberty Bowl at 795-7700. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his fourth. But you know what they say, fourth time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Got Brian Dacus hanging out with me. We just talked with Big Gabe Kuhn. Gabe is true blue, according to the text line.
Yeah, he is. Former Tiger.
Yep,
Always
former
Tiger.
Former Tiger, always a Tiger. And he's very good, especially 3 to 6 with Brett Norsworthy. Make sure you check him out. Now, we're about to get into a little hardwood where it just feels so dead gum good. But I do want to remind you, yesterday was Monday. Do you know about this, Dacus? Because you might not. You might have to do some work sometimes. You might not have heard this. But have you ever been to Pimento's Burgers Bar and Grill?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Do you know what they do on Monday? You missed it last night because I didn't see you there. I was there.
I missed it. I don't know.
You buy a burger, you get a burger for absolutely free.
That's a pretty good deal.
Burger and a side, and a burger and a side for absolutely no extra cost to you. That is a deal and a half, and their burgers are out of control. My favorite is the Sweet Heat. They have the pimento burger. They have all kinds of amazing, the mushroom extravaganza. They have one of the best happy hours you've ever been to in your life. I'm telling you right now, Pimento's Burgers Bar and Grill, it's so much more than just pimento cheese. Check them out. They're right out here in East Memphis. You know where International Paper Drive is?
Mm-hmm.
Bing, bang, boom. They're right there on the left side of that little shopping center if you're heading out east, out towards Germantown. Bam. Swing a left, International Paper Drive. Pimento's is right there. Go in there and check them out. 3 to 7, Monday through Friday, happy hour. $4 house wines, $4 house cocktails. And check out this. Anytime there's a football game on, $2 draft beers. $2 draft beers. Pimento's makes football your fantasy. Again, check them out. I love everything. And if you like a good charcuterie board, which I love it, they got cheese and sausage and ham and pickles and grapes. They got crackers, soft pretzels, spicy honey mustard. It is amazing. They got appetizers, quesadillas, the biggest salad you've ever seen. You can get chicken, grilled shrimp, salmon, whatever you want on top of it. You can take care of all your needs at Pimento's Burgers, Bar, and Grill. So much more than just pimento cheese. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
So, you are Bryant Dacus.
And you are John Harden.
Now, usually Jay always is about to come out of his seat because he has a story, and he's usually...
John, I got to tell you something. Let me tell the story real quick.
So I'm just checking with you. Do you have something that is just burning on your chest that you got to get off?
Did you know a volcano erupted last night?
Are you being serious?
I'm being 100% serious. In Hawaii.
In Hawaii?
A United States volcano.
So was it a big one?
It was. I think it's the biggest volcano on the planet.
What?
And it erupted last night.
Did it destroy anything?
I don't think so. I think it's on an island by itself.
Like a small one?
Yeah, it says eruption poses no imminent threat to communities. But how about that? A volcano erupting. It's the first time that a volcano has erupted in nearly 40 years.
Dang, man. Dang. That is actually pretty wild. So, a volcano blew up. Well, blew up is a great way to segue to this. Denver is basically blown up, self-imploded. Their coach is no good. Their team doesn't like each other. Their running back had fumble problems. They got rid of Melvin Gordon. They still haven't gotten rid of Nathaniel Hackett. Russell Wilson has been absolutely checked down Charlie. And again, Carson Wentz hadn't played in 6 weeks and has more touchdown passes than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has the most expensive, largest house in the Denver area. He has more bathrooms in his house than he has touchdown passes on the season. He's not playing good football,
no,
okay?
He's not.
It's kind of an understatement. Well, did you see that after they just lost their last game, he still goes out there, and did you see what he posted? This is 2 hours after the football game.
What'd he post?
He posted a picture of him walking into the stadium that day. And it says dangerous. Because he's all about the dangerous sandwich or whatever.
Be careful.
So
it's
he
spicy.
posted a picture of him walking in the most tailor-made suit. And I ain't going to lie, dude looked dope. But you think after you just lost a football game and you could only score 10 points against the Carolina Panthers, that 2 hours after your football game, you need to go to your Twitter account
you might want to stay off
and
social
start
media.
posting things like that? Man, you should have seen,
he's a cornball.
Oh my gosh. So here's a picture of him walking through with this suit, and he's got his little, carry-on that's got the wheels.
Of course.
He's got his chain on, the cross right in the middle of his chest, the black, spelt thing, all making him look good
Glasses?
or whatever.
Does he have shades on?
You know what? Let me look back at it. No, he does not have his shades on. He does not have his shades on. In fact, and it's a slow motion walk.
Oh, so it's is it a video or is it just a picture?
He took a picture. He had this done, and then he posted it 2 hours after they lost the football game.
I can't stand Russ.
I mean, this is ridiculous. So you have people are out there who posts this? Who says to their social media team, "Hey, let's get me a slow-mo shot of me walking into the stadium despite me throwing less touchdowns on the season than I have bathrooms in my mansion." Cringe. He's so corny. He's tone deaf. There's no one more tone deaf. He is so tone deaf. How does he not get it, and how long before Sierra leaves him?
Well, I don't know. If it's anything like Tom Brady, if Sierra left him, he might start playing better.
You know what? I didn't even think about it.
Tom
By the way,
Brady looks
hold on.
rejuvenated.
Time out. I gotta go somewhere. Did you hear what Giselle just did though?
I mean, I don't know. Everything. It seems like every day we're getting new information.
She
about
just
Giselle.
bought the house right across,
They're right across
the
the
pond,
street.
across the street from each
Kanye
other.
move.
Yeah. But dude, she's moved in there with her jiu-jitsu boyfriend.
So they're living together now.
Well, he's there all the time.
Right
He
across
helps her
the street
move
from
in.
Tom.
Right across from Tom.
Ooh.
So Tom has to see this stuff happen all the time.
Kids can just run across the street and visit mom.
I mean, they'd
visit
actually have to, I think they have
boyfriend.
to get in a little boat and row,
Right.
or they have to drive a golf cart around. It's really,
it's
really
around like
nice.
so it's not like right across the street.
Put it this way: you could get your binoculars out, look across the pond, and see everything that's
But
going.
Tom's not like going out to his drive or like going to the mailbox to get his mail, and he's like looking across the street and seeing them like making breakfast in the morning. It's like there's a little bit of a distance between them.
There's enough distance, but I'm sure he can. He can look at his ring. I'm sure.
Sure.
You know what the ring is, right?
The little doorbell camera.
Would you ever have one of those?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend money on it.
It ain't about the money. It's about like you say you're at home, your wife's out of town. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, how do you know, babe?
Because she can see it.
She's checked the ring.
Well, but I mean, the ring's on the outside. So
Yeah,
how
but
does
it
she know
can
that
see
you're
you
not
go
on the
in
inside?
or leave.
That's why you got
Every
side doors,
time. No,
John.
man, I'm telling you, I learned about the ring because I went over to my neighbor's house. I walked up in her house, and then all of a sudden my phone rings, and she's like, "What are you doing in my backyard?" I was like, "I'm putting back the equipment that I borrowed." She's like, "Oh, I'm just," and I was like, "How did you know?"
I just saw you on the
I'm like,
ring.
"How did you know I was
Yeah.
back here?" She's like, "I saw you on the ring." So again, that is something, men, for Christmas,
Don't get a
not
ring.
buy the ring.
Nothing wrong with an old-fashioned
You'll
doorbell.
get busted. Or if she's out of town, and let's say you just decide to throw a party and you're not doing
She'll
anything
know.
bad, you're just throwing back a couple
Why
of
is so and
cold
so at
ones,
my house?
drinking a little Tito's. Yeah, why is so and so at my house? Man, I'm telling you, these are things that I definitely wouldn't do. So, we talked about how great the 49ers are. You know that, right?
Yeah, they're great. They're fantastic.
They are really, really good. Did you know that Nick Bosa's model girlfriend broke up with him on TikTok this weekend?
Wait, what?
Yep.
Wait, so she made a video on TikTok breaking up with him.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 97, Nick Bosa for the San Francisco 49ers. He celebrated a sack during the fourth quarter against the Rams at SoFi Stadium. Bing, bang, boom, does his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then his girlfriend posted a picture basically saying, you don't want to answer my phone calls? You want to play hard to get? Well, it's going to be hard to get this. I'll never answer your phone call again.
Whoa.
And is that bad to get broken? I mean, by the way, she is so beautiful. Why wasn't he answering her phone call?
I gotta look her up.
Jenna Berman is her name. She secretly broke up with him on the TikTok. Now, is this something that new kids are doing, is breaking up with their
Yes.
significant others on the TikTok?
Dude, everything is out on social media now. I mean, if you are any type of popularity in terms of celebrity status, you're putting all your dirty laundry out on social media now.
Really?
It gets hits. People want to know about your life. I think it's weird, but to each is their own.
I think it's extremely weird. Speaking of, we talked about the World Cup today, right?
Iran versus USA.
Iran and the United States, they're playing today. Do you know what else is going on? Remember I told you about the time traveler?
What else? I love time travelers.
So there's a person out there on the TikTok, back to TikTok, who's already predicted 3 games, and he's not only predicted the winners, he's got the exact score correct.
And so he's already gotten these 3 right.
He's already gotten he put out 4 games.
Okay.
The only game that's left is the championship. And he says it's Brazil playing France.
What was the final score in that game?
2-0 Brazil. Me and Jay have been trying to figure out, do we go ahead and bet on it? Bet on this?
Can you bet?
Yes, you can bet at the advance. Man, you get great odds right now.
I'm sure fantastic odds.
But I don't know if I really believe he's a time traveler, or is he just some lucky dude who handicapped 3 games and got him exactly perfect. But here's the thing. So since the time traveler came out, there is they're now calling her Brazil's hottest World Cup fan. She has now come out. She's a police officer from Brazil. She went over to watch the World Cup to support her team.
Okay.
She's also now an international hero. She said, after hearing about the TikTok man saying that Brazil's going to win the championship, she promised all of Brazil that if they win the championship, that she will take her OnlyFans subscription and post it to public and post free nudes for the world to see if Brazil wins the World Cup.
So we're all fans of Brazil now.
That's what I'm asking you. Are you now a fan of Brazil as well?
Well, I mean, here I'm a patriotic man, so I got to go for USA. But if USA loses and Brazil's still standing, I got to cheer for somebody, I guess.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Now, speaking of another weird social media situation, Antonio Brown, do you remember when he posted fake nudes of Giselle on you didn't hear about this?
No. I heard everything else. I did not hear this.
So, Antonio Brown, who used to play for the Steelers and, of course, then went down. And then went down and played, of course, with the Tampa Bay Bucks, won the big game with Tom Brady. Tom Brady let him live in his house. Well, the NFL wide receiver has gone a little bit ham in this world, okay?
Yeah.
Posted pictures of, basically posted first to social media that, you know, his wife, Giselle, at the time was his wife, is leaving Tom Brady for him.
Yeah. He had all that picture of them after the Super Bowl.
Yes, after the Super Bowl,
very close,
hugging.
some text messages. Yeah.
Yes. So he did that. Then he posted fake nudes of her on his IG.
Wow.
Which I don't know. I didn't know you could post nudes on the IG.
I mean, I'm sure they get taken down. I'm sure you can post anything and it gets taken down.
It just gets taken down. Okay. So I'm learning. I'm just checking. And now he comes out and so he posts all that stuff about Giselle. Now he came out and just basically lambasted Tom Brady and said after watching Tom Brady, he knows 100% that Alex Scam Guerrero is a phony and a fraud. He said he doesn't have a brain. He doesn't even have a high school diploma. And he's out there selling overpriced information to to other sports athletes and, quote, making them enjoy the fountain of youth or whatever by eating certain foods and not eating other foods. And he made fun of like some massage that he does to people's feet and all this stuff. And he just basically said that he is a scam artist who lives on the backs of Tom Brady. Ergo, Tom Brady is basically just a giant scam artist. Interesting. I mean, he is still 45 and playing football.
Did you see the
Like
text message
football.
that Tom sent AB?
Oh, yeah, that was man. Tom, don't send that. You know AB's going to post it.
Yeah, but I mean, it just seemed like Tom was like trying to be a nice guy.
He was
and,
trying to
like,
be a nice guy, and
trying
then
to
AB went
reach
posted
out
it.
and AB, woo. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think when you've seen everything that's happened, you probably should just let him do what he does and stay away from that.
Oh, my goodness. So, did you also hear, speaking of, I talked about who was naked? Who was out fake nudes from Giselle.
Yeah, from Giselle.
Well, did you know the Minnesota Vikings, you know they played on Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm. The night game.
Yeah. So
Prime time.
Do you know they were tricked in featuring a photo of adult film star Johnny Sins?
Okay, so you know that's a thing. That's like a trend that people do.
Dude, I've never heard of this until yesterday.
So here's how it is. So Johnny Sins is a male
He's
actor.
a male porn star.
Yes. And the whole joke around him is that he plays different roles in all of his videos. So like one video he might be a doctor, the other he might be like a cop, another he'll be like he's like everything, right? So
Johnny Law.
Yeah, so the joke is like people will find pictures of him in different like uniforms and stuff, and they'll go and they'll send them to people who do like
and
the
this
Vikings.
Was to salute like the military.
Ole Miss did the same thing. Ole Miss after COVID, they have like a cup with like first responders on it, or like nurses and stuff. And somebody found a picture of Johnny Sins in like a a doctor suit, doctor clothes, and sent it into Ole Miss, and Ole Miss has a cup with Johnny Sins on it because they thought he was like a doctor.
Dude, that is hilarious.
I love that trend. It's hilarious.
I think that is absolutely one of the better ones that are out there. By the way, did you hear what Shannon Sharp suggested that Zach Wilson do?
No.
He said, Zach, do me a favor. He said, quit worrying about hunting and just go out. He said, quit worrying about playing quarterback and just go back to cougar hunting.
Hey, do what you're good at.
Do what you're good at. I mean, I really can't argue with him.
Everyone has a specialty.
And it seems like that's about the only specialty Zach Wilson has. I will say if they actually go back, if they move on from Mike White, go back to Zach Wilson, the Jets are crazy.
JETS.
I will tell you, though, but if you want to watch football, Do you know I love watching it at a bar with a bunch of friends? I got the bar for you. It's Getaway Sports Bar, 4632. It's Winchester Road, man. Ain't far from anybody. Bing, bang, boom. You get over there. They got the coldest beer in town. They got TVs all over the place. And I mean big ones everywhere. From behind the bar, over by the pool tables, over by the dartboards, over there by their golden tee. They have great bar grub. And again, they got the coldest beer in town. They're 24/7, 365. Head on in there at any time of day, any time of night. Get you a cold one. Tell them that I sent you. Again, that's 4632 Winchester Road, Getaway Sports Bar. Back in 2 shakes to close things out. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Get ready for your holiday road trip in a new ride from Gossett Kia on the Pike. How about 41 MPG Highway? Get it in 2023 Kia Forte LXS. $289 a month, 36-month lease, $27.99 due at signing. Or get a thrill for real in 2023 Kia K5 LXS. $365 a month, 36-month lease, $31.99 due at signing. And if you don't see what you want, not a problem. Let Bobby J order you a new ride today at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And you won't pay over MSRP. Plus, Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Forte P 543,577, MSRP 22,335, K5 PG 186,690, MSRP 27,765. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Kia. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/22. With approved credit, dealer stock only. Warranties a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Barton's has been your hometown building supply store since 1885, offering local delivery. Now Barton's offers in-stock utility trailers, a great option for contractors and frequent DIYers on tight schedules. Available in single and tandem axle options, these 6-foot, 4-inch by 12-foot, 16-foot, and 18-foot trailers are made in Northeast Arkansas and include 15-inch tires and wood floor construction. Visit your West Memphis Barton's at 215 West Broadway to check out these quality in-stock trailer options.
I got to tell you, man, I was worried.
Worried about what?
Since I'm the Central Barbecue spokesperson.
We're really the spokespeople.
As a Central Barbecue spokesperson, I was letting people down because the Central Barbecue location on Central is closed for renovation. There are only 3 locations for people to get Central Barbecue.
I think people can get by with 3 locations.
No one cares what you think. Like I said, I was worried, but the people at Central Barbecue have solved the problem.
That didn't exist.
They've parked the Central Barbecue food truck at the Central Barbecue Central Avenue location. Everything is right with the world.
Everything was already fine.
I'll be the one that makes that decision.
Get holiday ready at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on Covington Pike during our Black Friday sales event. You ready for a new ride but can't seem to find just what you're looking for? No worries. Stop by, pick your ride, and Gossett will get it ordered just for you. No hassles, no extra charges, no market adjustments. Pay no more than MSRP at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Plus, keep your money in your pocket during the holidays and get no payments for 90 days on select models. And 2022 Renegade Sport 4x4, we Gossett $399 a month or buy it for $29,990. So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett on the Pike. Or shop online 24/7, 365 at GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
28 NPN 79312 MSRP 31980 must finance through Chrysler Capital. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/22 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Big thanks to Gabe Kuhn, who joined us at noon. We talked a whole lot of NFL football. You can hear Gabe today from 3 to 6 on Sports Time with Brett Norsworthy, and also David Cobb at CBSSports.com. We talked all things college basketball and college football. Speaking of college basketball, your boy Jay, man, Bellarmine, is playing Kentucky. He had them early in the year. It's a really good team.
They're a great team.
He said that they were going to beat, I can't even remember, it was probably like Louisville.
Louisville.
Everybody's beating Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville, by the way, is 0-6 this year.
They have Maryland tonight.
And by the way, why is Maryland only a 12-point favorite over Louisville?
Probably because it's at Louisville. I mean,
but I don't care. If you're playing at the KFC Yum Center, what are you going to go there to support this crummy Louisville basketball team?
Our guy,
Denny Crum ain't walking through that door.
Our
Rick
guy
Pitino
Greg
ain't
has
walking through that door.
9.5.
Ooh, really?
But Greg
Peterson?
Greg likes Louisville for some reason. It seems like he's always kind of siding with
I
Louisville.
wonder if when he went into Louisville, if they treated him well.
Maybe. Gave him a big old steak.
No, I was talking about the ladies of the night that used to work for the team and everything.
Greg could use one of those, I'm sure.
Yeah. He doesn't sleep. My man's a lunatic. But yeah, Bellarmine's playing Kentucky tonight. Kentucky's a 25.5-point favorite. I'm kind of leaning Bellarmine. I mean, heck.
Yeah.
You know, give me a little bit of love. I'm definitely not touching the Maryland-Louisville game.
No.
Tonight, though, Houston's back at it. They're number 1 in the AP poll. Kelvin Sampson's team's playing out of control. They're a 26-point favorite over Norfolk State. I think the Cougs get things done.
I think so.
In the interesting basketball games out there tonight, I think Virginia and Michigan's a good one.
Yeah,
Virginia's undefeated. They have to go to Ann Arbor, to Michigan, play them. I'm sure Michigan, the students are probably still absolutely in a frenzy after Michigan beat Ohio State. They're looking forward to the game this week. By the way, how bad is Michigan going to beat on Purdue? Like their football team I'm talking about.
I was about to say, I don't know.
Michigan, I'm not talking about Purdue's basketball team. Purdue's basketball team is bad to the bone. Like straight up, you beat Gonzaga and then you beat Duke same weekend. Like
it's insane.
All they got to do is, and they beat the Zags by I think 18, and then they beat Duke by 19.
Yeah, they whooped up on both of them.
So they beat the brakes off them. But Purdue in the Big Ten title game in Indianapolis, by the way, playing Michigan, 17 points.
Could be in the 20s.
It could definitely get out of control. It could get out of control. Michigan does look extremely good. I am excited, though, to watch the 3 o'clock on ABC. I think Tulane against Central Florida is going to be a pretty good football game. Tulane's a 3.5-point favorite. I love me some Michael Pratt. I loved me some Willie. But we know he's exiting and everything. I wonder how the football team going to respond. And then the SEC championship game, LSU and Georgia. I mean, how did LSU lose to Texas A&M? I know A-Chain went crazy. They had the freshman quarterback, was it Connor Wigman? I mean, this kid goes out there. By the way, true freshman, goes out there and dominates.
It's like their third option.
Like, where were you all year, son? He dominated that LSU team. I know they didn't, quote, have much to play for. Oh, just the fact that if they win and then did beat Georgia, that they might make it to the college football playoff. No, they had a lot to play for, but I can't believe Texas A&M and the Fighting Jimbo Fishers were able to get off the mat and get that W. Bad loss for Brian Kelly. Going into the SEC championship game, I think this is where Georgia puts it together, just like they did against Tennessee. I think they're going to get ready now for the college football playoff. This is Kirby Smart's time of the year. I think Georgia gets ready, beats the brakes off of LSU, and then goes on a run and gets another natty title. Now, Friday night's the game that I'm excited about because I want to see USC in the college football playoff. Do I think their defense would be the worst team in the college football playoff? Maybe, maybe not. TCU's defense ain't all that great either. Both offenses are very impressive, but Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in college football. He probably is the best football player in college football. The guy can run the ball. He looks like a man amongst boys. He can throw it all over the yard. They got wide receivers. Jordan Addison's bad. Did you see what he's doing with Taj Washington?
Oh, yeah.
Former Tiger Taj
Looked really
Washington.
good over there.
My goodness, he's getting things done. Lincoln Riley's got it going. And the other thing I just wanted to ask you is I heard this yesterday. People were talking about, well, you know, I just think even if USC wins and they beat Utah, I still think Alabama's more deserving. They lost 2 games on the road. Yeah, dude, but they gave up, 50-some-odd points to Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
They could have lost the Ole Miss game, probably should have lost the Ole Miss game. They did lose the game in LSU. Yes, it was in the last play of the game, but you still lost to that LSU team that's got 3 losses already on the season. One of them's not to you, so I definitely don't agree with that. I think USC, a 1-point loss on the road, and then you redeem that bad boy against Utah. Please, son. Child, please. Now, I got to tell you something. We had a lot of bad weather today. If you got some issues with your roof, there's only one person to call, and that is your Memphis Roofing Repair Professional, the #1 commercial and residential roofing contractor in the Mid-South. That would be Brian Elder, 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303. Let him come love on your roof. And remember, if he says you have if he says you have a claim, you go ahead and book it, Dano. You have a claim. Again, that's 901-867-0303 or go to brianelderroofing.com. I hope you had a real one, Dacus. Enjoy the rest of your day. For Bryant, I'm John. Y'all get out there, make this world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
Bienvenidos. Welcome to Los Cabos with 4 locations, Quince, Bartlett, Germantown, and now on Goodman Road. Los Cabos serving the best food in town with quality service and a fun family atmosphere. At Los Cabos, food and drink are an important part of the dining experience, so you get exceptional food with cocktails worthy of that food. You'll find the best margaritas at Los Cabos, along with delicious specialty drinks, handcrafted cocktails, beer, and happy hour specials 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. Los Cabos is open for lunch and dinner, with lunch specials every day starting at $7. Come enjoy delicious Mexican dishes and seafood at the best sports bars in town. Visit with family and friends and enjoy Los Cabos Mexican Bar and Grill. Los Cabos, now with 4 locations, Quince, Bartlett, Germantown, and their newest location, 3964 Goodman Road, just a few minutes down the road from Getwell. See you soon at Los Cabos.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
O'Reilly. Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus double O Rewards points. Get more fuel-saving tips from the professional parts people at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'Reillyauto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Choate's is offering some amazing specials for this month only. If you're considering upgrading your furnace before the cold weather comes, Choate's is offering $1,000 off a new Carrier furnace. If you don't need a new furnace, Choate's is now offering its early bird 6